My point has been that she was the center of this controversy, and sometimes it's very easy to shoot the messenger and say, well, what was published is nothing, but you know, then are you guys going to sue that paper?
It's not our intention to sue the paper.
Well,
no, sir.
Then
we would certainly like to keep our name clean, but I don't
no,
sue
right,
necessary.
right. But what I'm saying is, some work was done, and the only thing I ask is to have Mary Conway, who is the former or acting or I don't know what
Mr. Manager,
CIP director, to just come and say, you know, clarify this situation. That's all that there is to it, because what we are voting is on extending a contract, the same contract that has been questioned, and that's all that there is to it. I've read your thing, and my understanding is that there may be a different version of some of the things that were public and some of the things that were published also, but I have seen emails that are part of the public records and are part of what the paper gathered that would make people think that something happened as to the effect of what the paper said. So,
Mr.
Chairman, I just want to finish.
Let me see if I can help the situation, because otherwise we will be going in circles until tomorrow morning. Is Mary Conway, Mrs. Mary Conway, under any gag order from the administration?
Is not under a gag order.
Okay. Is she present at the
I don't know,
the
sir.
building? Pardon me?
I do not know, because I haven't
she was
seen
here
her.
this morning. She was here this morning. If it is the will, is she still an employee of the city of Miami?
Yes, today she is.
Okay. Madam City Attorney, I have a question for you. It's a legal question, because I don't want to trespass any lines and end up myself on the front page of all the newspapers here with 1 million allegations. Does this commission have the power to subpoena city employees to testify before the commission on an item?
Yes, you do.
All right, Mr. Manager, what I suggest you do, because we have a commissioner here that is insisting on listening from Mary Conway. So we need to produce Mary Conway and have Mary Conway answer the questions. I mean, what are we trying to hide? Mr. Neil Petit stood at the podium and said his truth and his version of the issue, you know, and now we're trying, you know, we're trying to cover up some dilemma. Let's bring the lady.
I just want to make sure in the midst of that applies for everyone across the board.
Huh?
So, period. Not just on this issue, but when there are other city employees that have issues or concerns about certain things that are being brought up, that applies to them also. Because, quite frankly, Mr. Chairman, there's been several occasions that I've been forewarned on issues where it's been stated to me, Commissioner, that is not your role and that is not your responsibility, that is the role of the city manager, and we have no right to have any say in that. So
wait. We're investigating an allegation.
Right, and what I'm simply saying, there's several, Commissioner Sarnoff, there's several other instances, and I'm sure the manager knows exactly what I'm talking about, that's been communicated to me that we cannot do that. So I'm glad to hear that that is not the case.
what I'm asking is to protect the city commission and the city manager and the integrity of the city. There were 2 names mentioned in an article. It wasn't an anonymous press release that went by fax to it. It was an established media outlet that published some things that were public record. HDR just came and say their piece. So the other person that was part of that article is Ms. Conway. It's not about city employee or powers of the manager. It's about investigating so we can feel comfortable voting for $4 million in extension of a contract. That's all that there is to it. This is to protect this board, the administration, and the integrity of the city. I mean, you know, thank you very much. I mean, I read your statement, I heard you, but I just want to understand the other side of the coin, and that's it. End of story. I don't see what is the problem here. This is not a huge thing. This is not a Watergate-style hearing. This is just paper has published something. 2 names have been written on the paper. Allegations have even triggered a motion by the vice chairman for the future to stop that practice. So, what is the problem?
Just to clarify, in speaking to the city manager, I wanted to respect the fact on how he decided to handle his employee. So, if the city attorney is saying that that is not an issue, that the board itself has the ability to subpoena or have that person come out to speak on, I don't have an issue with it. I'm just simply, my statement was, you know, there's several articles that are ran in the paper on several individuals that are city employees, and I just want to be very clear that they have the right to do the same thing. That was my statement.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Manager, where do we stand? Is Mrs. Conway still in the building? Is she a city employee? Was she fired? What's the status?
Mr.
Because
Chairman,
if she's no longer a city employee, we have no right to ask her to come to this chamber and to testify. I mean,
Mr. Chairman, I said that today she's a city employee, and it's up to your prerogative. If you want her to testify, and if she's in the building, she will.
all right. I'm being told that we need 3 votes to request the presence of Mrs. Conway here before the city commission.
Let me clarify something for the record, so there's no confusion and there's no violation of any charter provision.
Right.
You have 2 distinct charter provisions at play here. You have the one provision that describes the form of government under which you operate, which really and truly delegates to the manager the complete authority over the workforce, so that this commission cannot direct or give an order to a subordinate of the manager. However, there is one exception to that, and the exception is found in another charter provision that gives this board the authority to investigate the conduct of any department or employee or the transactions of any employee or department. Within that provision, you have the authority to issue a subpoena, which has to be signed by the presiding officer, served by a police officer, and you can compel the attendance of any witness, including city employees.
Well, with that being said, District 2, before it votes for $4.1 million, would like to hear from the person whose allegations have been made that disparage the very process.
Right. So
Do I have a second to that?
So
If that needs to be by motion?
Let me correct the record. I believe that I went through the city manager to request the presence of Ms. Conway here.
you can do
Is
that.
that correct?
The manager answers to you. You request the manager something, but
I asked
if
the city manager. I didn't ask Ms. Conway to come here. I asked the city manager to produce Mrs. Mary Conway before the podium so we can ask the questions that we have to ask. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing everything according to the law.
Are you comfortable with that, Pete?
I'll follow your directions.
Okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to defer this until
No. Is Mary Conway in this building? I mean, if she is, she should come to the
She
podium.
was here a while ago.
I think she's in the back.
We
I mean,
should give
this
her an
is-
opportunity
This is the back?
to
Okay. So what is the
clear her name.
We could either do it by motion with a subpoena, or we could have the city manager voluntarily produce.
We got 2 sworn police officers here. I mean, right now, they can, the presiding officer is Chairman Gonzalez. He can sign a paper. But this is getting like Elvis is in the building or something, you know.
Mr. Manager,
Mr. Chairman, I just asked staff to go and find Ms. Conway.
Very good. Thank you.
Bring her
sir.
in.
All right.